Good afternoon, everybody. So I did tell us I was going to make a video, but hopefully I have enough time to get this together before I put it out. If I don't, I'll post it for you next class for you to use. Okay, so question 1. Systems of linear equations is represented by line H and line J. The table represents some of the points on line H and the graph on line J are shown. So which system of equations is best represented by line H and line J? Okay, so the first thing we got to do here is we got to figure out what the equation is for this one. So you can do this by stat edit, but you got to create your little table first. So here, this is line J and this is line H. Okay, so we have line J here, and I'm going to figure out what these 2 points are. I see this is -4, so -4 is my x value, and then this is going to be 6, which is going to be my y value. So those are 2 points here, and then a point here is going to be 4 and -4. Okay, so I'm going to create this into a table, x, y. It's going to be -4, 6, 4, and -4. Now that I have that, you can put this in stat edit. If you want to find slope by hand, that's fine. I'm going to put this in stat edit. So I'm going to do stat, enter. I'm going to do -4, enter, 4, enter. Then I'm going to go across. I'm going to put 6, enter, and then -4, enter. After that, you're going to do stat, calc, 4, enter, enter, enter. And then we have our equation here. So it's going to be line J is going to represent -1.25 x plus 1. So that's how you write it. Now, if you would like, you could write this as a fraction. So this as a fraction would be 5/4. If you don't know that as a fraction, you can definitely put this into your calculator. So I'm going to do second quit, and I'm going to do -1.25. Hit math, fraction, enter, and you get -5/4. So that's just a matter of practice, but the calculator can definitely help you if you're not that quick. Okay, so that's one of my equations. Now I need to find the other one, and you can do this by hand. I'm not counting it against you if you want to. I'm going to use the calculator, and I'm going to find line H. Okay, so let me grab that. And then we're going to do stat, and then we're going to do edit. And you just need 2 points. So I'm just going to do the first 2. X is going to be -16, enter. Then -8, enter. Then you're going to go across, go up, do 7, enter. Then 1, enter. Then do stat, calc, 4, enter, 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 enter. And then there we have it. So we have this one, which would be y equals -0.75 x -5. Now I'm going to box these because these are going to be the decimal ones. Now, our answer choices aren't giving us decimals. They're putting it in fractions. So you could either do the step I told you beforehand, which is type this into the calculator, hit math, enter, enter, and you get the fraction. I'm just going to go ahead and write it because it's less clicking for me. And I know that this would be y equals -3/4 x -5. Okay, so now I have to go and look at see what system fits this best. So I know it's not going to be F. I know it's not going to be G because both of these slopes are negative. it could be, and then I see right here, I have negative 3/4 as a slope, minus 5. Very good. That's going to be line H. And then here I have J, which is negative 4/5, negative 5/4 plus 1. So my answer for number 1 is going to be J. This is basically putting these things in stat edit and being able to solve them. Okay, next, I'm going to trash all these and we're going to move on to the next question. Now this one, it says, what is the value of x in the solution of the system below? So here, you can do this in many ways. This one, I'm going to choose elimination because the x and y values are lined up. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn this into a negative 6 by multiplying each term by negative 2. So we're going to do this one, and this one. So let me write this equation over here first. All I'm doing is writing the top equation over here because I can no longer see it here. So now we're going to distribute. So it's going to be negative 6x minus 2y equals, actually, scratch that. I'm changing everything. I need to solve for x, right? So I need to actually cancel out these y's. I apologize. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to rewrite this equation just so I have some room. 6x plus 3y equals 13. And I'm just solving for x, so I'm going to cancel out the x's cancel out the y's by multiplying everything by negative 3. Actually, sorry, by 3. Because that's going to turn to negative 3y. So this will be 9x. This is going to be negative 3y. And then this is going to be 12. So that's going to let me cancel these out. I'm going to be left with 15x, which equals 25. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 15. And then x equals 25 over 15. But we know that's not in lowest terms. So you can either find the greatest common multiple. I know it's going to be 5. So I'm just going to do that right here. And simplify it. And this will turn to 5 over 3. But if you're not that fast, it's okay. Sometimes it takes us longer than others. You can just grab the calculator because nobody's going to know the difference. And then you're going to do hold on. You're going to do I just put clear. You're going to do alpha x 25 over 15 and hit enter. And there, 5 over 3. Okay, so no big deal if you are not that good. So your answer here would be G. Yay, G. Okay, moving forward. I'm going to trash all this. If I'm going too fast, please rewind. Please pause. This is your video. Question 3. Okay. The graphs of line K1 and K2 are shown below. Which system of equation best represents the graph? So here what we got to find are 2 pretty points on each graph. I'm going to have K2 be pink, and we're going to do that one first. So I'm going to look really close, and I'm going to say here's a pretty point right here. And that's supposed to be pink. Why is it not pink? Pink here. And I see that this is going to be negative 7 and 7. Okay? Actually, I messed y'all up. I'm sorry. There's an easier way to do this. So we're going to do the y-intercept, which is going to be 0 and 4. And we're going to do the x-intercept, which is going to be 9 and 0. Okay? And then we can put this in point slope formula. Okay? So remember, point slope formula is y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Okay, so we can get it in this form. So we know that our y1, we got to find the slope first. You know what? I'm sorry. We're just going to put this in stat edit. And then we're going to solve. We're going to put it in this format. Okay? I apologize. There is an easier way to do this, but we haven't talked about standard form yet. And we're not going to talk about it in this video, so we'll talk about that when you see my real life face again. All right, 9, 0. We're just going to put this in stat edit because we can. So I'm going to press stat, enter. I'm going to go over here, 0, enter. Oh, no. And then 9, enter. Then I'm going to go across. I'm going to go up, 4, enter, 0, enter. Stat, calc, 4. And there we have this ugly number, but it's okay. We're going to have y equals negative 0.4 repeating x plus 4. Okay? And that is going to be K1. K2. That's K2. Okay? You can also do, hey, the delta y over delta x. That's fine. This is going to be minus 4. This is going to be plus 9. And we can also know that this would be negative 4 over 9. X plus 4 equals y. Okay? That is just a way you can do it. If you don't know that way, if you can't do it that fast, you can always put that in the calculator. You can just do clear. And then you're going to do negative 0 point, and you have to enter for 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Math. Fraction, enter. Oh, we got to do it 11 times. Math, fraction, enter. And it does it for you. Make sure key number is 11. 11. Okay? Now, let's do the next one. We're going to do K1, and we're going to do that one in blue. Okay, I'm going to minimize this. So here, go back. I'm going to erase this stuff, and I'm going to put 2 new pretty points. And I'm going to do this one here, which is 1 and 1. And I'm going to do this one here, which is 0 and negative 2. And I'm going to put this in a mini table. 1, 1, 0, negative 2. Now, I am going to do this one by hand because everybody at this point knows stat edit. If you want to do stat edit, fine. If you don't, then this is how you do it. I know the change here is going to be negative 1, and the change here is going to be positive. What? Does that make sense? Oh, negative 1 here. So they're both going to be negative 1. I apologize. So it's going to be the change in y is going to be negative 1. And the change in x is also going to be negative 1. So that means my slope here is going to be 1 or just x. Okay, and my y-intercept is going to be negative 2. So now when we're looking at our answer choices, so make sure you guys write this down on some piece of paper. I am too, because I'm about to scroll up and change scenery. Y equals negative 4 over 9x plus 4, and then y equals x minus 2. And we are going to make sure that we get x and y on the same side. So to do that, I'm going to have to add 4/9 to both sides. So I'm going to erase a few things. I'm going to erase these tables, and I'm going to do a little bit of maneuvering. This is when literal equations gets a little bit tricky, but it's nothing you can't solve. You just have to use all the skills that you know. So we're going to start with the pink one. Y equal, oh no, that's supposed to be pink, Miss Whiting. Y equals negative 4 over 9x plus 4. The first thing I notice here is that none of these answer choices have a fraction. So I'm going to get rid of the fraction by multiplying everything by 9. This by 9, this by 9, and this by 9. This is going to turn to 9y equals negative 4x plus 36. Okay. And I'm just going to do this fast because I know my timetables. Then I'm going to add 4x to both sides. And I know that this equation is now going to be 4x plus 9y equals 36. Okay. So now I can go through and cross these out. So I know it can't be G. I know it can't be H. And I know it can't be J. So the only answer this could be would be F. Okay. And if that one's too complicated, you could also do this one in blue. Okay. We're going to do that one. I did it right. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. Miss Whiting is not on her A game today. She's on her F game. But I'm going to make it right. This is 3 over 1 minus 2. Okay, this is the correct one. I knew that because of the answer choice. So this one, if I wanted to get this one over here, I had to subtract 3x from both sides. Minus 3x. So it should be negative 3x plus y equals negative 2. But this one doesn't look like that is because they factored out the negative 1. So you got to multiply everything by negative 1. This would be 3x plus y minus y, sorry, equals positive 2. Now, these are a lot of steps. I get it. This is going to be one of your most hardest ones. This is basically taking everything you know about math. Now, one thing you can do to make it easier for you is you can turn all these, solve them for y, And then once you do stat edit, have them match. So that's just a way of working backwards. Okay, in math, if you don't know how to do it one way, always have a backup plan to know how to do it the other way. Okay, now, if you have any questions, I cannot answer them today, but hold them to them for next class. Okay. Question 4. There are 9 books stacked on the shelf. The thickness of each book is 1 inch or 2 inches, and the height of the stack is the height of the stack of 9 books is 14 inches. Okay. Which system of equations can be used to determine x, the number of 1-inch books in the stack, and y, the number of 2-inch books in the stack? So one thing we have to know is we have 2 different books. And I'm going to label one book 1 inch as x. One inch as x, and then y is going to be 2 inches. Woo. Okay, so x is 1 inch, so we're just going to leave that as x. And y is going to be 2 inches. And we know the total of 9 books is 14 inches. We don't know how many books there are of x. We don't know how many books of there is y. But we do know that there's a total of 9 books. Okay? So now this would be the system. So you don't have to solve the system, but you do have to identify the system. So now we have to figure out which one goes with this one. And it would be H. Because we have x plus y equals 9. And then we have x, which is 1 inch, y, which is 2 inches, and it equals 14. It wouldn't be F because the x and y have to equal 9. It wouldn't be G because the x and y still have to equal 9. And it wouldn't be this one because it's really not a good reason why it wouldn't be this one. Because you can definitely reverse this and say that x is 2 inches. This is just a preference. So how many 1-inch books are there and then how many 2-inch books? So I can argue this, that H and J are correct. So if you do make this mistake on the test, I will definitely override it because you can argue both ways. It's just a whatever I decide was X and which one was Y. Because it wasn't stated, actually, just kidding, it is stated. X is 1 inch and Y is 2 inches. So sorry, it is H. H is correct. Okay, so how many 1-inch thick books are in the stack and how many 2-inch thick books are in the stack? So this one we're going to be solving for elimination. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to multiply everything by -1 because I want to cancel out my x's first. Okay. So this would be -x minus y equals -9. And then we're going to have x plus 2y equals 14. And this would be y equals 5. So we know that there are 5 2-inch books. Okay, now we have to figure out how many 1-inch books are there. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug 5 in for y into this system. So it's going to be x plus 5 equals 9. Then we subtract 5 from both sides. X equals 4. So now we know we have 4 1-inch books. All right. Trash. Solve the system of linear equations. So what we can do here is we're going to put this into Desmos. So I'm going to get my Desmos calculator. We're going to go to test mode. So I'm going to go to Google Classroom. I'm going to toggle. I'm going to go to 7th period, classwork, then Desmos star calculator. And then I'm going to pull this out. Bad idea. All right, so we're going to type this into y equals. So it's going to be -1/3 x minus 2. And this is going to be 4/3 x plus 3. And then we're going to see where they intersect. They intersect at -3 and -1. So then now I can go see, oh, the answer would be B. Yay! Applause. Hopefully this was the easiest question. Now, given the system of equation, what is the value of y? Okay, so there's 2 ways to solve this. You can either A, put this in y equals, or B, do elimination. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do elimination because that's just my preference. And I'm going to multiply everything by -2. And the reason I'm doing elimination is because the x and y values are lined up. So this would be -8x. This would turn to plus 2y. And this would equal -22. Then we're going to put this system right here. So it'll be 3x minus 2y equals 12. Now, I know I'm supposed to solve for y, but this one was a little bit more difficult to solve for y because this was just easier to me. So I'm just going to go back and plug it in the system. So here, this is going to be -5x. These cancel out, and then you're going to be left with -10. You divide -5 from both sides. And then remember, x equals 2. But that's not the answer we're looking for. We're looking for y. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug 2 into one of these systems. I'm going to plug it into this one. Okay, so we're going to have 4 times 2 minus y equals 11. This would be 8 minus y equals 11. Subtract 8 from both sides. And we get -y equals 3. But then it's negative, and I got to divide both sides by -1. And then y equals -3. So your answer would be A. So that is one way to solve this question. I'm going to show you a different way. I'm going to trash this. And you can also put this in y equals and graph it. So if you just don't like this, which is fine because everybody has a preference, you can also graph it. So we're going to have 3x minus 2y equals 12. I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. This will be -2y equals 12 minus 3x. Then I'm going to divide both sides by -2, or each term by -2. And then we have y equals -6 plus 3 over 2x. So that's one system. Okay, now I'm going to do the other one. I'm going to do it in pink. And that's going to be 4x minus y equals 11. Let's subtract 4x from both sides. Then we have -y equals 11 minus 4x. We're going to divide -1 by each term. Y equals -11 plus 4x. Then once you have these both and y equals, you can simply just type them into decimals. Okay, so I'm going to grab my decimals calculator again, and we're going to type them here. So I'm going to do this first one. -6 plus 3 over 2x. Then we're going to have this one, which is going to be -11 plus 4x. We see where they intersect, and we also see, hey, the y value is -3. So the answer is still going to be A. Okay, so I just wanted to show you two ways. Graphing, some people like, and then some people don't like, so it just depends. Okay, there's 3 different ways to solve this. Okay, and I'm going to trash this, and I'm going to move on. Now, what is the solution to the system of equation? So this one, I'm also going to graph this one. This is the last one. And I'm just going to graph. You can also do I'm going to do substitution, and then I'll graph it. So you can also do substitution here. We see that y equals 2x minus 11. So we can do 3x minus 4. And then we're going to plug this in for y. So this would be 2x minus 11. And this equals 19. So I'm going to do distributive property. This would be -8x. This will be plus 44 equals 19. And then we're going to put 3x in the front. So then this would be -5x plus 44 equals 19. Then I'm going to subtract 44 from both sides. I do not know what this is mentally. So I'm going to grab my calculator. I'm just going to grab my handheld for this one. Sorry, guys. 19 minus 44. And then this will be -25 equals -5x. I'm going to divide -5 from both sides. And then x equals 5. So I know I can cross out B and D. Now I got to plug this back into the equation. I'm going to pick this one here because it directly equals y. So I'm going to do y equals 2. I know x equals 5, so I'm going to plug in 5 here. Minus 11. So this would be 10 minus 11. And 10 minus 11 equals -1. So my answer would be A. Okay, so that's one way to solve it. You can also graph it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm also going to graph it. So here we can have 3x minus 4y that's y, equals 19. I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. And then we're going to have -4y equals 19 minus 3x. I'm going to divide each term by -4. And this would be y equals 19 over negative 4 plus 3/4 x. So now that we have this, we're going to plug it into the calculator. So here, it's going to be 2x minus 11. And then this one is going to be 19 over negative 4 plus 3/4 x. And we can also see that the point of intersection is 5 and negative 1, and the answer would be A. So there's two ways to solve the equation if you want. All right, I hope this helps. Sorry for some of the stumbles up there. We even have like a little disclaimer for question 3, so just make sure you're aware of that. All right, hope this helps. I'll have this posted in Google Classroom. Good luck on your tests. Have a great day. Bye.